Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to look at Administrative UI for Analytics Center. Analytics Center comes with enterprise-grade security and governance control using which you can precisely control how the self-service analytics is being used by your end users. This is a totally web-based experience. So if I'm in my Agile Point portal right now, if I go to settings, you'll see a new icon over here for analytics. If we click on it, so it brings up the analytics settings over here. Now what you see over here is right now I have added 5 connections to 5 different databases. Out of the box, when the system gets installed, you get a data entity connection and the workflow connection. These are the existing Agile Point databases. I've added few more which are custom databases in my case, an AdventureWorks database, a Northwind, and a Wide World import. If you wanted to add a new one, the first thing you do is you expand this one, click on data connectors, the screen which I am currently on. I can say add connector, and here are the various connectors which are available to which you can create connections. So I can report against Azure SQL, Elasticsearch, Excel, MongoDB, MySQL, Oracle, PostgreSQL, AWS Redshift, RESTful Service, Salesforce, and SQL Server. So let's click on SQL Server. So it's a wizard-driven kind of an experience. I can get a connection string builder in this case, or if I prefer adding a connection string manually, I can just flip this switch and then add the connection string manually. Once added, I can reconnect. I can see that the connection works fine. Now the next thing is, once the connection has been added, I'm going to go ahead and select it. It shows me the type of connection next to it. I can mark a connection as hidden. If there are any reports which are or dashboards associated with this connection, those are going to be hidden as well. Or I can delete the connection altogether as well. I'm not going to do that right now. If I select the connection, the next thing I would notice is there is an list box called available data sources and another list box which is called visible data sources. So within this connection, there are various database schemas which are available, and I have precise control over which schemas would be exposed to my end users. This is I'm building the root schema over here. So in my case, I have already added all the tables to the visible schema. So you see the count over here as 6. I can move certain individual tables back to the available schema so that they are no more visible, or I can click on the top level itself and it would move all of those back as well. So I can, by clicking on these labels, I can move them from one list box to another. And once I'm happy with the way my schema is structured, I'm going to go ahead and click save. So all my details are saved. Next, I move on to the data model section. Now, this is where you can see all the tables, views, stored procedures, functions, and relationships. That's where what you can manage from here. So I can minimize this one. So if I select the tables tab over here, the first grid shows me the list of tables which are available, and the second grid shows me the columns which are available in the selected table. So if whichever row I select, its columns are shown over there. I can search based on various categories or database names. I'm going to just search for a table called employee in all categories. So as you can see, there is a table called employee in Northwind database. If I select that row, I can give that a database or a table alias name. I can set up relationships if I wanted. Also, if I go to the second grid, I can see the columns which are available in the employee table. I can again give the column aliases. I can set up predefined filters. I can mark them as visible or invisible. So if a column is something I didn't want to be made visible outside of the database, I can mark them as invisible from here. I can also decide or specify that which one of these can be used in the filters when somebody is building reports and dashboards. And I can delete a particular column as well. Similarly, if I click on views, The first grid shows me the views which are available, and once I select a view, it shows me the columns which are available in those views. If I go to stored procedure, very similar concept. I can see the list of stored procedures. If I select one of the stored procedures, the second grid shows me the input and output parameters. Similarly, you can use the functions over here. And if I go to relationships, it shows me the list of all the relationships which were detected based on the foreign key constraints which were set up on the table side, but I can add relationships manually as well. One thing also I wanted to point out is that this is supporting pagination. By default, it is bringing down 10 rows, but you can always say bring down more rows if you are comfortable bringing down more rows. Now moving on, I can click on advanced settings. This is where under the categories tab, I can manage available categories at my tenant level. I can add new categories. I can delete categories as well. If I click on others, I can manage some of the advanced settings like time zone offsets, whether I want to hide report header and footer. If I go to the role setup, this is where you would spend most of the time. What you see is out of the box, there are 4 roles which are usually added: administrator role, application designer, application runtime manager, and users. I've added a couple of more roles in my demo tenant over here. These are custom roles. If I select on one of the roles over here, it shows me the role type. From an analytics perspective, there are various role types. There is an analytics administrator who has unrestricted access to all the functionality within the analytics center. Advanced report creator, this is for the professional report designers. They see a lot more advanced properties while designing reports and dashboards. Basic report creator is more for citizen developers. They see lesser properties while designing reports and dashboards. Report viewer, this is for the people who have to just consume the report. They are not building any new reports. And custom, this is where I can give any sorts of permissions and create a custom profile. So as you can see, 4 of these roles, they have been synchronized with Agile Point already. These are the ones which come with the Agile Point workflow database out of the box. And a couple of custom ones are available over here as well. So if I go over here and select maybe the custom one, you can see 4 tabs at the top. The first one of them is data model access. So in the previous step, when I was creating data model, I was setting up the schema that within a particular data model, which all tables are available. Now I'm giving permissions around it. So I'm going to say for demo role, give permission to adventure work database. If I wanted to give permission to other databases, I can do that as well, or I can give permission to specific table if I wanted. So I can start giving permissions and hit save. So these tables would be accessible for people belonging to this role. Next, moving on to the permissions tab. You can control all sorts of permissions within Analytics Center. So system configuration, data setup permissions, user related permissions, role related permissions, report dashboard related permissions, access control, scheduling, email, and exporting. So if you click on any one of these, it takes you to the corresponding section in the table for easier navigation. I'm going to quickly walk you through some of the important permissions. So if I was an administrator, I was using one of the predefined roles over here. And if I go to permissions, these are non-editable because those roles are predefined as per the system. But I can create a copy of those roles or create a custom role in this case. So, and then all of those checkboxes are clickable. So I can give them full access to the Analytics Center, access to scheduling services. Under the data setup, you can specify whether this person can add new connections, whether he can configure the data model schema, whether he can create new categories at the tenant level. Under user setup, you can specify whether this user can change the user role association. I'm going to talk about it when I go to users. Under role setup, you can specify whether this person is able to do what we are doing right now, whether he can access the data model tab, the permissions tab, whether he can modify permissions or not. Under reports, this is where you won't need to pay attention. You can specify whether people belonging to this role can create new reports, whether they are seeing a citizen developer interface or a professional report designer interface. What kind of report parts are available to them while reporting? So you can say the people belonging to this role can only add charts and gauges. Whether they can create new categories when they're saving the report, you can control that permission. It shows the list of available categories as well, so you can select a group of categories and you can say move it to the visible category, or even allow saving reports in this category, so you can move these between these list boxes. Whether the user can apply filter logic in the report, whether they can do cross filtering while designing these reports, whether they can use advanced features like custom URLs, embedded JavaScript, sub reports. Similarly, whether they can schedule the reports, subscribe to reports, create access right configurations for other people to access these reports, email the report, print a report, export a report. So practically every aspect of the report designer can be controlled from here. Similarly, in the dashboard, you can precisely control whether they can create a new dashboard, which categories are accessible to them. I can move them around, and what actions they can perform on the dashboard. On the access control limits, you can specify the roles and users the people belonging to this particular role can share their reports and dashboards with. So you can say they can only share the reports and dashboards with administrators or application designer. Same goes for scheduling. From an email perspective, you can precisely control that when they say email this report to me, whether they get it as a link, an embedded HTML in the email body, or an attachment, and whether they get it as a Word, Excel, PDF, if it is being sent as an attachment, what formats are supported, and same goes for exporting. Now moving on to the third tab, you can see the list of users which are available under this role. And one other good feature is I can click on permission summary and I can see a side-by-side comparison of all the permissions given to various roles. Now I'm going to click on, say, an administrator role over here. One of the things I talked about is that you can assign users and create these roles, but you're not supposed to do it manually from here. There's a much easier experience. So if you go to the manage center in Agile Point, and if you are adding a new role, say I'm going to call it demo 123. I'm going to give it some permissions over here on the process tab. For the modules, I'm going to say they can use all the modules including Analytics Center. And there is a new tab over here called Analytics. You can specify right from here what kind of an analytics permission this people belonging to this role would have. So I can say it is associated with a custom permission set. It gives you a navigation link to that setting screen which I was using right now. This might take a couple of minutes to get synchronized with the analytics database. So I'm going to go ahead and click next, add one user to this one, and click OK and finish. So if I now navigate back to my analytics center and hit a refresh, and go to role setup, my new role is automatically synchronized. So while I'm making changes on the Agile Point workflow database side, those are getting synchronized with my analytics database as well. Now remember that in most of the cases you guys would be using some kind of an existing user store like a Windows Azure Active Directory or Active Directory, and your roles and groups are all managed over here, over there in that repository, and getting synchronized with Agile Point, and all that information can be carried over automatically to the Analytics Center as well. So if I select on this demo 123, the user Nishant is already going to be present. As you can see, user Nishant is already there. So I'm not adding roles as such from here. This screen is more for your reference, that you can see what roles are available on analytics side, what users are available. You're mainly working with the data model access and the permission tabs. Now moving on to the user setup, you can see the list of users. You can search for users. You can deactivate certain user from Analytics Center if you wanted, and you can change the user profile if you wanted. This is automatically getting synchronized from Agile Point side as user information is changing on the Agile Point side, but you can manage it from here as well. There are a couple of settings which are specific to analytics which center, which you want to probably look at. One is about date offset, another one is time offset, and their language preferences, and in the report what kind of date format they want to see. The next one we are going to talk about is around scheduling. So if you drill down into this one, you can manage all the subscriptions and schedules which have been created on the report and dashboard levels. You can search for them and you can manage it from here as a tenant administrator. So for today's demo, I use the multi-tenant environment. So these permissions are all available to the tenant administrator by default, and he can give other people permission. In one of my future videos, I'm going to also cover a standalone installation, because they see a little bit more permissions around how they can configure the performance of their environment. So that I'm going to cover in a separate video. Thanks a lot for your time.